Hello, you don't need Phoebe, honestly. Watch this real quick and we'll talk about a big con that Zani has, because even though I believe she's a free-to-play unit, she can still be a bit of a bait for certain players. She's very strong. She can clear even with a weapon that pretty much does nothing, and I'm not really playing well either, while in a completely free-to-play team. As everyone has Rover, and chances are you probably have Verena from the character selector we had a while back, and even if you don't, I'm showing a clear with just Zani and Rover with the standard banner weapons. If you ask me, what Phoebe does is make the rotation very simple, and I personally think that as long as you can clear the endgame comfortably, while playing well and having them decently built, the character is good. So don't feel forced to pull for Phoebes unless you like her enough to play her. So even though I think she's free to play friendly, she's a bit of a bait for newer players, especially those who have and rely on Phoebe as a main DPS. If you pull for Zani, then you have to make a choice. Who's Rover going to be supporting now? Phoebe doesn't really work without a spectrofractal unit, she hits like a wet noodle, and I've seen Zani work without a spectrofractal applicator, but that's just a very sweaty thing to do. So unless you're willing to put hours upon hours on learning that rotation and mastering that team, and then performing under pressure, because the boss is not going to just sit there and take it, then you're going to be put into a weird spot, because Rover can't be in every floor in the TOA, and you can't have them in both teams in Whimpering Wastes. So now you had one premium team before pulling Zani, and after pulling Zani you have one premium team, and that's the main problem. Best case scenario, you're freeing up Rover to play as Havoc Rover in another floor or something, but that's pretty cool, not gonna lie. And that's where we run into a little bit of a problem. Right now we don't really have anyone who applies Spectral Frazzle other than Rover and Siakona, this silly goober. So in order to get that extra team, you would have to pull for a limited 5-star, because as of right now that's the only option that we have. Now I would be expecting that to change in the future, and if you ask me, the thing that Guru should do is give us more reliable 4-star units. Some units that are on a power level similar to someone like Samhwa or Mortefi. They don't have to outperform someone like Confession Phoebe, she's a 5-star after all, but having someone who inflicts those attacks better than Rover while dealing less damage than them would be great, mainly to have those options. Or give us some echoes that can apply those attacks too, that's probably another fix, easy fix. Overall, I wouldn't really worry about how high the ceiling of a character's damage is, as long as they can clear the content in the game if you play them well. And that's what I like about this game, it rewards you for playing well. Now if you play Zani with Rover, the swap cancels are not that difficult. It's more a matter of just getting used to going back to Rover to reapply those stacks constantly. If you're getting started, I would focus on swapping into Rover whenever she sits down on that chair, which you can do by doing her skill and immediately pressing the basic attack button. You can swap out whenever you get a counter, and you can also swap during her last attack when she's on her liberation form. It's also important to use Rover's enhanced skill. Probably the easiest way to do it is to do a heavy attack and a couple of basic attacks whenever you swap into her. All in all, just remember to constantly go back to Rover to get those Spectral Frazzle stacks. It's also important to note that whenever she's in her liberation form, as long as she has more than 30 blazes, she can still generate more if Rover keeps applying Spectral Frazzle, so keep doing those swap cancels. This may sound difficult to do, but it's more a matter of practice if anything else, and it's incredibly satisfying once you pull it off, and it's not nearly as sweaty as trying to get Changli to work by herself. I wanted to make this video mostly because I keep seeing people saying that Phoebe is absolutely needed, that you had to pull for her, and it really isn't the case. While she would buff Zani a lot, Confession Phoebe doesn't really do any significant damage, while Rover can put a pretty respectable amount of damage if you play them as a sub DPS. At the end of the day, I would pull for Phoebe if I liked her or if I liked her playstyle. Don't feel forced to pull for her, and if you have an already established account where you can consistently clear the TOA and the Whimpering Wastes, at that point you can just really pull for whoever you want, unless they add another game mode or something. At the end of the day, I think that Zani is just very fun to play, so if you like her and you want her, just know that she works perfectly fine with Rover. So yeah, that's it, see ya!